Hey, the rundown, covering Greenwood sports. The rundown, giving our athletes support. The rundown, showing their quest for gold. The rundown, where team stories are told. The rundown, putting a face to the names. Our GHS athletes playing the game. I think you all know. Hands up and let's go. Can you feel the flow? Let's get into the show.
Congratulations on the accomplishment.
Thank you.
Cross country is something I've had to try to understand a little bit. It's an individual competition, then there's this team aspect, and I probably don't understand it, so maybe we'll get into that. But congratulations on that so far. So
Thank you.
we're going to have James start us off.
Hey, Coach Chris, can you give us a recap on how the runners did out at the regional meet?
Yeah, so obviously Alyssa ran really well. It's a state qualifier, so we're super proud of her and excited to see what she can do at state. So, and then we had May Savage, who just ran really well all year. Fell a little short this year for the state run, but I think May and Alyssa really pushed each other this year. So I think that can even say, that May pushed Alyssa to the state run. So we're really proud of both of them for how hard they work. Then we have Carly Hoffman, Briley Savage, Briley Anderson, just consistent runners for us all year and at this regional meet. So just runners that there's no surprises. We know that they're going to compete. We know they're going to work hard every time. So that makes it easy on our end too. Micah Kendrick, she just ran, I think, her best time at the regional meet. She got sub 13, which I think that was one of her goals. I think she ran a 12:59, if I'm not mistaken. So that was really big for her, so we're really proud of her for that. So I've never seen a runner like Micah who can have a 400-meter run left in the race and still be smiling. She's just a go-getter and has so much fun. So she's a joy to be around. And then Maudie, her senior season, she led the team really well this whole year, was another good runner for us. So all around, just a really good race. Can't ask for much more than their best, and that's what they gave us. So.
Okay. Appreciate that. Coach, as a whole, how did the girls team do this year?
Yeah, so I think we ended the regional race in 10th place out of 24 teams, which considering our region, it's a very tough region with Canyon and Randall, and we got West Plains and Stephenville, so we have a lot of tough competition when it comes to the regional race. So considering who we're up against, we had an incredible year, incredible season. Just, I think it comes down to we just have a lot of good kids running cross country who want to represent Greenwood well and want to compete, and that's what they did. So I think as a coaching staff, that's what probably we're most proud of.
Okay.
That's awesome. What was the best part of the meet for you?
I would say just witnessing the fight and the desire to compete. I don't know. I've gotten emotional so many times this season in meets because I'm usually kind of at the end watching them come, and that fight they have at the end, giving everything they have, left at every meet is probably one of my favorite things about every meet, and not just regionals, but regionals they really just left it on the line and gave it all they had. So really proud of them.
What excites you the most about Alyssa making that state trip?
Yeah, I think she's one of the hardest working kids I've seen and have been able to be around. So she, I think, had a little bit of a fire under her after her shortcoming last year. I think she just, worked hard every day. So I'm excited to see what that does for her at state. So just all around, good kids, comes before practice, stays after. Just to get better, and I think that contributes to a lot of the success she's had this year so far.
That's awesome. Hey, Alyssa, how were you feeling, and what were you thinking about when you were getting ready to run your race there?
I just thought of state. I was like, I know how close I was last year, and I was just afraid I wasn't gonna make it. And then everything kind of just went silent. He held up the gun. And I was like, okay, it's now, or you gotta wait till next year. So.
Right.
Kind of black out a little bit?
Yeah.
What was the plan heading into that state meet? Or what is the plan, excuse me?
Well, we went and ran the course before, and right where I struggled the most, Coach Robbie kind of showed us how to run the course, where to run it, so I could find my footing. So I stuck to that plan, and then just the plan of making it to state just carried me through the rest of it.
Okay.
At what point did you realize you were going to qualify for state? Was it during the race? Was it after the race? Was it going through your mind as you're running the race?
When I crossed the line, I saw my time and I heard my placing, and I was like, okay, yeah, when everyone starts moving down, I'll be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be hard. Even if you wind up with a personal best, if you don't place, because everybody else in front of you is also at the personal best mark, right?
Right.
So it's that's too much unknown for me, James.
Yeah.
What are the expectations for the state meet?
I want to run under 12 because I ran a 12:24 at May Simmons, and I think I can hit an 11 if I really, really tried.
Okay, and when and where is that meet happening?
Round Rock, it's in Round Rock.
Okay.
And on Saturday.
See, that's the other downside, James, because it's relatively flat out here.
Yes.
And you're saying West Plains and Randall and
Yeah.
Stephenville, they have hills, which we don't have. So
Yeah, none of those.
we
We tried to build the athletic center up on one, but it's only like 20 feet.
Well, ladies, we appreciate you coming on, having a little bit of fun with us here on the Ranger Rundown. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And we'll certainly root you on. So,
Yes, sir.
up next we have we're going to talk about some middle school sports with Coach Murby and Coach Ventura. Stay tuned.
Little Friday night lights and a hometown crowd. GSN streaming it clear and loud. Your brand on screen where the Rangers play. Every sport, every game, all season, all day. It's your hometown, your moment to win. Put your name in the game with GSN. It's your hometown, your moment to win. Put your name in the game with GSN.
All right, now we have to our left a couple of middle school coaches, Murby and Ventura. How are you guys this evening?
Doing good. How are you?
Man, doing fantastic. Football is starting to come to a close. I'm making the assumption, right?
Well, it will in the middle school, not in the high school.
Yep. So district going well.
Going well.
All right. We'll get us fired off with James.
Hey, Coach Murphy, tell us how the middle school athletics program have done this far.
Well, we've had a really successful year so far. Our football teams have done really well. We've won 20-something games and lost 4 or 5 between the 4 teams. Volleyball all have well over 500 records. In fact, they're in their season tonight. Middle school, our girls won the district championship. Our boys came in second. So far it's been real good. The thing now is, keep it up going the rest of the year.
Yes, sir.
Coach, maybe explain to us what are some of the different programs available in middle school to the athletes, and what kind of participation is there?
Well, we've got the 3 that I just mentioned, and then comes basketball. And then in the spring we get really busy. We get golf, tennis, soccer, track. Hope I did not forget any. But anyway, we got a lot at the start, and then really basketball is kind of the only thing that's going on, during the basketball season around the turn of the year. And then after that, we get really busy in the spring. Turnout has been great. One of the bad things about it is in some of the sports we have to cut, which we don't like. But as far as turnout, never have a problem fielding teams. We run into situations, especially football-wise, where we have to try to scramble up some games. Our 2 white teams in the 7th and 8th grade have played Andrews 3 times this year.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of teams just don't have the numbers, but we're fortunate that we've got the participation and have the numbers.
Okay.
That's awesome. What's the most rewarding aspect of working with these young athletes, Coach?
To see what they do in the future when they get to high school. Like, you know, we had these, see Dylan here and Nathaniel, you know, Jake. We've had these kids several years ago, and now to see them have the success that we're having, it's very, very rewarding.
You feel like you helped lay part of that foundation for those
Well,
kids?
you know, we try to do our best, but, you know, you got to give credit to the people up there. Coach Hill and his staff do a fantastic job over there. And, you know, if we had a little part in it, great.
You did. From a former athlete who went from 7th grade through high school, you did.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. You know, we enjoy all the kids. It's a great place to coach, and it's almost not like coming to work.
Yes, sir.
Coach Murphy, last question for you. What's the most important aspect you feel about your job?
I think what we need to do as junior high coaches, I'm talking about all sports, is we have a saying, let's get them across the street. You know, if they come out in junior high athletics, we want them to be in high school athletics. And I think that all of us, we want to win. Winning is extremely important. But the thing is the participation and the numbers, you know, girls and boys sports, we want to make sure that they're not just playing in junior high and then giving it up. And we know we're going to lose some. But to get them over there and have a bunch, you know, and let Coach Hill have the problem of trying to find 2 freshman teams, you know, games for them and all those sort of things. That's a good problem to have. And that's, I think, the most rewarding thing.
Makes sense.
Absolutely. Coach Ventura, tell us about the message you communicate with all your young athletes.
Well, we just, you know, we want to tell them that, you know, when they start is, you know, we're going to do everything right from the beginning. And what all entails in that is you know, who they're, as far as who they are representing as far as themselves, the team, the parents, the community, and all that stuff, and just doing everything that's right, and we expect that in the classroom and on the field.
Coach Ventura, how do you, I guess, what are your expectations for those middle school programs, and how do you reinforce those?
Well, I think, as Coach Murphy mentioned, is to get them ready to come across the street, and just the hard work every day, pushing them to be better than what they think they can do. And, you know, one of the sayings I say is, you know, when you do what you've always done, you're guaranteed to get what you've always gotten. So we try to get them above that level and let them understand what they can accomplish if they just put in the work.
Okay, makes sense.
Absolutely. What's your favorite thing about coaching over at the middle school?
Just you know, having fun. You know, a lot of the kids, you know, they call me Grandpa. That started with Coach Murphy 30 years ago. But just watching them, you know, mature and seeing, you know, them as 7th graders and now being able, this is my 4th year, and so those juniors, I started with them and seeing where they've come from and everything. And I just sit back and just smile and just really proud of where they are now.
Yes, sir.
Coach, you've been here for a while. What's the best thing about the Greenwood community?
I think it's just one great large family. You know, just the support that we get as teachers and coaches and the kids, just loving the kids is, you know, one of the best places I've ever worked in. You know, we are Greenwood, and I just love being a part of it.
Appreciate that.
That's awesome. All right, how about some rapid fire questions for you guys? They're super hard.
Oh, no, I just realized we didn't do rapid fire for Coach Christ or Alyssa, so sorry about that.
It was the most important
She
part
was
of the
so
interview.
ready.
It's okay. It's a rookie mistake. All right. Coach, burgers or tacos? Coach Murphy, burgers or tacos?
Oh, boy, that's a tough one. Tacos.
Tacos?
Burgers.
Burgers, one tacos. Beach or lake?
Beach, without a doubt. I'm
Lake.
from South Texas, the coast.
And all right, so one of each again. All right, best ice cream flavor?
Chocolate.
I agree, chocolate.
Chocolate's the best. All right, got you to agree on one. That's good. What's your favorite sporting event to watch live? If you had to be in a stadium somewhere, where do you want to be at? What do you want to see?
You know, I've never been able to do it, but I would love to see the Olympic 4x1 relay. I think that would be just absolute.
That was not on my list, but I'm going to put it on my list. That is
just see
one
and
of my
be
favorite races.
ground level, you know, and see how fast those people actually are. I would love to do that. Don't know that I ever will, but it'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
It would be.
We were just talking about that the other day, and
Is
I
that
just and
Coach
one of-
Murphy's going to be trying to pace him, huh?
One of my bucket lists is, the NCAA track and field championships. I would love to be there.
That's fantastic.
Wow. Yeah, no, I never expected those. So.
No, not at all.
Gentlemen, we appreciate you coming and having a little bit of fun with us. Appreciate the dedication and hard work. I had a junior high kid, and sometimes he wears me out, and I can't imagine 80 to 100 of them. So
Yeah.
The amount of patience is beyond me, but certainly appreciate it.
Y'all had great kids, and we enjoyed them, and thank y'all for having us.
Thank you for helping shape their lives.
Up next on the Ranger. Hey, no, Coach Murphy, you bailed out on us last year. We're gonna make you stay. Got to do that. We talked about this. Up next we have Coach Larry Galindo and Dylan Payton to talk about special teams. Be right back.
All right, next up, we got Coach Galindo and Dylan Payton to discuss special teams with us this afternoon. Hey, welcome, guys.
How are you? I'm good. Glad to be here.
So Coach, we're gonna maybe have to talk to you for a minute, right? Last time you were on, we had an excuse of why you weren't on, and then there was Coach Hill maybe said something about a twin brother named Terry.
That's right.
Okay. We're always happy to have you on. There's nothing scary here, but
I wasn't feeling well.
yeah, oddly enough, so if you're not a regular viewer, Coach Galindo has a twin brother who is a coach for Pecos, and we happen to be right.
Monahans, yes,
Oh,
sir.
so that's even worse. Monahans, and we happen to be getting ready for that game that week, and then you come up lame. Right?
Yeah, that
Or
was
sick.
on me. I
Sick,
felt,
not lame.
I felt bad
So,
about missing that one.
yeah, we told Coach we're gonna give you a hard time about that, but all right, we're over it. But we are going to start off with you, Coach. How about a favorite thing about coaching special teams and why?
I would say getting to coach everybody. You know, everybody has an offensive position, everybody has a defensive position, but I get to coach everybody in special teams. And so it's not just, offensively I work with the receivers, but in special teams I'm getting to work with linebackers, defensive line, offensive line. So I would say one of them is being able to work with everybody and then keeping people or other teams on their toes, I would say, just because we do so many different things. And so it's just like, well, what are they going to do this week? And so another thing is the buy-in from the guys. They know how important special teams is and how, one play can change the momentum of a football game. And so the buy-in, the leadership, and how we have different guys that anchor each different unit. We have 7 different units, and so there's leaders in every single one of those units that I enjoy coaching.
Okay.
Coach, what's the most challenging aspect of being a special teams coordinator?
I would say the moving pieces. Like I said, there's 7 different units, and so you're trying to put the best guys and the best, help them succeed in wherever we put them. And so I would definitely say the moving pieces. When we played in Pecos, Owen, he got sick, so he didn't get to play that game, and so Owen's on 6 different special teams units. So now you're talking about guys having to step up, and so one of the things that I tell our guys before every Monday morning scouting report is to make sure you check the depth chart, just because it's going to change from week to week. If you look at the scouting report from the depth chart from week 1 to now, it's completely different. There's different guys on each unit, and there's guys that are still on each unit, but they may be in a different spot. So we're just putting these guys trying to put these guys in a spot to help our team be successful.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Coach, what's the most challenging aspect of being special teams coordinator?
Like I said, the most challenging is, well, I guess I'll talk about it from our perspective. You know, we do so many different things, and so one thing that can be challenging is if a team has different, if they run multiple things on each unit, because you're having to prepare for it. You can't just dismiss it. So for us, it's like, you know, we run so many different things. So what do teams want to focus on for that week? You know, like they have to rep it. You know, and we're an attacking special teams unit. We're not a reactive one. You know, so we want to set the tone, and so it's just like, well, we want to do this, and so how are teams going to adjust to it?
Seen a lot of ingenuity from your groups over the past few years, Coach. What do you use to develop your strategies?
A lot of that goes by watching film, so I try to pick or find any tendency that I can on the team that we're playing that week, and so I'll look at hours and hours of film, and then it's not just me. You know, the other coaches help me as well, and so if we see a play and we like it, then we'll rep it. You know, and if it goes well, then we'll put it in for the game plan that week, and if not, then we'll save it for a week when we may need it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense with, I think we had a blocked punt last week, right?
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken, the punter got one sailed over his head last week as well. I remember doing that in junior high, and I thought, man, I don't want to do that again. So,
well, I think anytime you can put pressure on a punter, then it forces him to, you know, get it off quick, or mistakes are going to happen. And so, like I said, we're trying to pressure the punter, and so we're either going to block it or hopefully put enough pressure on it for him to either kick it, you know, or snap it over the head, or, you know, have a bad kick or punt.
Sure. Coach, last question for you. What's the favorite thing about coaching in Greenwood?
I think there's a lot of different things that go into that. You know, when we're talking about the kids, these kids are, you know, they play well together, and they play for each other, and so it's good to see that. And so then you talk about our coaching staff. We're a tight coaching staff, and so I enjoy working with these guys, going into the office and seeing these guys each day. And then you got to think about the community, the school board, administration. They've always been so supportive, and so I would say there's different aspects that affect the culture of like what we're trying to build. And so I've been here 10 years, and Greenwood has been good to me, and I'm thankful to be here.
Okay.
We're glad to have you here, Coach.
For sure.
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk to Dylan. Dylan, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, man. Dylan, what's the most difficult aspect of punting the football?
I think the most difficult is probably I think punting it is just all fundamentals. I mean, when you catch the ball, you only have a few seconds. So getting the drop down and just kicking it right every time is just a lot of repetition. So I think if you get the fundamentals down, it's a lot easier, but that's probably the most difficult part.
Just working on fundamentals?
Yes, sir.
Dylan, what are a couple of skills needed to be a good punter?
Might have to ask a good punter that. But I think just being quick, getting the ball off quick, and if you need to run it, being able to run it. So just being quick overall and thinking quick and everything.
Yeah, you know, you talk about thinking quick and, hey, if you need to run it, run it. Do you ever just look up and glance and think, man, I can make this? I don't really want to punt. I mean, you could tell Coach Hill or Galindo or whoever, like, oh, Coach, I mishandled the ball, and just take off with it.
Oh, I think about it. You know,
Okay.
I wish I could do that, but I wouldn't want
We just need some encouragement.
I wouldn't want the harassment from Coach Galindo, so.
He used to hide from me last year.
Yeah, I would kick it out of bounds, and I'd hide from Coach Galindo, so I don't want that again.
Well, we'll stick with the call plays. So you've run several fakes throughout your career. What's your favorite fakes you've run?
Probably the one we put in last week. We put in gate where the linemen go out to the divide, and then I threw it to Beckham. That was probably my favorite just because there's a lot of moving parts, and it ended up working. So that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I've over the last 10 years, I've seen us line up, for the swing gate. I don't think we've ever executed it that I can remember in past years. So, no, that was a lot of fun there. So when we go to returning kicks or punting, right? You kind of play both sides of that game there. Do you ever get mad when nobody kicks it to you?
No, I don't get mad. I mean, I know whoever catches the ball is gonna have a good run. I got Hayden in the back with me, so I know if he gets the ball, he's gonna run. So I'm not mad. I mean, I don't care who scores or who gets the run, just as long as we win the game and advance.
Gotcha. Okay. You want to handle rapid fire?
Yep. We'll do some rapid fire questions. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Super
Yes, sir.
tough. All right. All right. Dylan, are you a burgers or tacos guy?
Burgers.
Coach?
Tacos.
Burgers and a tacos. Beach or lake, Dylan?
I'm taking the lake.
Going to the lake?
Lake.
Definitely a lake. All right. Race car or monster truck?
Probably a monster truck.
The monster truck.
Monster trucks. I like it. Best ice cream?
I'm going to go with coffee.
Cookies and cream.
Cookies
Like
and
coffee flavored ice cream or coffee over ice cream?
I don't like coffee, but I like coffee flavored ice cream. So
Interesting.
it's kind of weird.
Okay.
Would you hold a snake or a spider?
Neither. But if I had to choose, a spider.
Spider?
Snake.
A snake? I'm with neither.
Well, gentlemen, lots of good things. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say lots of good things coming up over the next couple of weeks as we round out district and work our way into the playoffs. So appreciate all the hard work, and obviously you've got an entire community backing you guys up. So lots of good things to see. So stick with us here at Rooster's Backyard. Up next, we've got Coach Hill sit down with us to talk about Fort Stockton last week and then coming up for Seminole. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Rooster's Backyard. Now we've got AD Coach Hill. How are you, sir?
Good to be back. Always good to be back after a win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
You know, last week, Coach, we talked about while we were in Monahans, the Fort Stockton Snyder game, kind of pacing our same score.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's almost like deja vu. Last week, you know, we come out guns blazing against Fort Stockton, home game. Lots of, you know, even with the storms and rain
The
that
weather,
came through,
yeah.
kind of got cold on us there. Still had a pretty good turnout in the stands. But watching Seminole play Snyder was also kind of pacing our same our same offensive score there. So yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row. Hopefully we'll wind up with the same result this Friday.
That's the goal. We're going to give it we're going to give it the old college try.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Saw
Absolutely.
some cool stuff. Saw swinging gate properly executed. That looked cool. That kind of threw us off. Me and Todd were busy yammering about something dumb probably and almost missed the
Well, that's
first
why
one.
we put it in for you.
I appreciate it.
Give you and Todd keep you on your toes a little bit.
Keep us on our
There you
toes. That's
go.
right.
That'll do it.
But all right.
Hey, Coach, let's go through the top 10 from Fort Stockton game last Friday.
Let's do it. Let's get after it. Again, look at Coach Thomas churching up the cover slide. I like it. Looks good. Coach Thomas and his students always do great work on this kind of stuff. But it was a great night for the Rangers. I thought all three phases played exceptionally well. You referenced the swinging gate. We were able to score early, and then I thought the defense played a fantastic game. Did a wonderful job. Just from the jump, starting with the first play of the game, I thought the offensive line did a tremendous job. We got some guys in space. They were able to combo up to the linebackers and create some space at the second level. That was Braden Torres with the run behind some great blocking. And then, I just, ever since about halfway through his sophomore year, been just really, really proud of our running backs, what they've been able to do with the ball in the hand. The quarterback run game has been tremendous. That was Andrew Rodriguez, but Lincoln does the exact same thing. Halfway through his sophomore year, we really turned him loose and let him extend plays with his feet, and he's done a tremendous job, and that's just one more hat you've got to account for defensively. And then, as far as our defense goes, I thought our defensive line did a tremendous job. Two linebackers and Dakota Underhill and Reese Watzel fitting the blocks really, really well, sending the ball to their help. Joey Vasquez and Kason Brooks there to fit the runs. And then, in the back end with Noah Rivas and Nathan Tarango and Andrick Rodriguez again, doing a tremendous job. And then Nathaniel Romero, I think he's up for the MRT Athlete of the Week. So there's a plug for him. Go vote for Nathaniel. He's done a tremendous job and had well over 100-plus yards on 10 carries. Just did a tremendous job for us on Friday night. And then here's one of the swinging gate looks that we got. And so we get Tarango to Dylan to Beckham. It was kind of a math problem there. We're just counting the numbers and running where they weren't. And so we were glad that worked out. We had repped that several times last week in practice. But, again, defensive line was incredibly disruptive. They had what we call some chaos plays there, were tackles for loss, sacks, forcing the quarterback to get the ball out quick. There's Dylan Payton doing what he's done for the last 3 years, finding some space in the defense, knowing when to tuck it and get upfield, when to get out of bounds. He just did a tremendous job. And then, anytime that you can make a bad play worse for the offense, that's what we're looking to do. And so kind of capitalize on their miscues. And Mason Lee was really, really happy for the senior. He stepped away from football for a year. We were so happy that he came back. We're really excited for his success. He did a wonderful job, and so was really happy that he was able to come up with a big turnover. And Coach Martin always preaches, early in the year it was 3 turnovers. Now we've kind of upped it. The expectation is 4. And, with block punts and 4th down stops, red zone stops, and there's 2 interceptions right there back to back. And then right here, you can't say enough again about our offensive line, but Nathaniel Romero. He had a big night for us. This is the first play from scrimmage. I think it was 76 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Just found a hole, found another little crease, bounced it to the backside, and then showing that 4x4 track speed that he's got, pulling away from the defenders there in the last 25 or 30 yards. He just did a tremendous job. I thought we played really good complementary football, offense helping the defense helping the offense, special teams cleaning it up for everybody, and great night for the Rangers. We were excited with the win.
Yeah, Todd and I were, we tend to try to guess what that play is going to be. And I don't think we had on our bingo card first play of the game, 76-yard rushing touchdown on that number 1 top play. The number 4 play was Madrid rolling out, kind of a fake handoff rolled out, and oddly enough, Fort Stockton had containment there, and he kind of had to stop short. I thought, oh no, what's he going to do? And here comes Dylan Payton, and that wound up being a touchdown. So I didn't call that one either correctly. But
well, those two especially, I don't know, maybe 1 million passes they've thrown to each other back and forth, and so they can they've got a really good feel for the different zone coverages that we see, when to sit it down, when to keep moving, and Lincoln's able to put it on a dime, and
sure.
Dylan's able to come down with him.
That's it. So, Coach, the number 1 play, that 76-yard rushing touchdown. Talk about the explosive start to that game.
Well, we always preach. That's kind of the deal that we've, we start fast, and so it's when they listen to you, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but
I told you
when it's executed to perfection, and then you get the ball to a guy that can run, and then he runs. Yeah, so the 5 guys up front did a tremendous job. Great play call by Zane Hernandez, and I'm not sure we were expecting it to go 76, but we were happy with the result. So
yeah, even the second offensive play of the game, Madrid wound up running one. I believe that was 60.
It was right, yeah,
69 or 79 yards. I can't remember. Wound up getting called back for a penalty that's questionable, obviously. But just a fantastic start.
It was fun.
They're all questionable.
Of course
they're all questionable.
I wouldn't be doing my job. I don't want to get fired.
It was a good start for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach, the team came out and played very physical. Talk about being physical and how important that is to y'all's game.
Yeah, I give all the credit in the world to Coach Martin, Markel Martin, our defensive staff. Just preach that all week. I think if you can win the physical battle, especially defensively, you're always going to be in the game. And then the physicality that Coach Cox and the offensive line, Coach Jordan and the tight ends, all that, even the receivers on the perimeter did a fantastic job. So when you can set the tone in that way early, I think a lot of teams, it's a lot easier to tap out once you're being out physical, so to speak. And so I was really proud of our effort on, especially the defensive side of the ball. I thought they did a great job.
Absolutely.
Coach, that is Dakota Underhill's second interception. Back-to-back games, right? Almost had a pick six if he was maybe a little bit quicker. But talk about his ability to kind of read those plays and just be at the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, and we talked about the number of times Lincoln's thrown a pass to Dylan. I think you could make the same comment on the number of times that Dakota's dropped in zone coverage. He's seen a million different route concepts, a million different quarterback drops. He's incredibly athletic, and that helps. Sure. But former receiver, JV receiver, and so he knows how to catch the ball, and then he's 15.5 in the 110s. He can run a little bit, and so I give him a lot of credit. He's does a tremendous job for us being physical, but when it calls for him to make a play in space, he's definitely the guy you want around the football.
Yeah, just a joke about his speed. I remember that second or third game 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When you guys moved him up, said, "Hey, this wide receiver is going to play linebacker." It's like, okay, we're going to see how this works, and just started hammering.
Hadn't looked back.
So,
has not looked back.
Been fun to watch.
Absolutely. Hey, talk about bringing back the swing gate from your first season.
Yeah. It was a situation where we thought we might get some mileage out of it, and again, it just kind of goes back to a math problem. If they've got 5 guys to fit the 4 gaps you're creating, you probably don't need to do it, and we'll bring it back in and kick it. But if there is some confusion and misalignment, then we've got a handful of wrinkles we can run off some of that, run off of that formation. And so Coach Cox is actually the guy that brought that up in the staff meeting and got the look we wanted the first time. The second time we didn't, so we went to plan B, and we're fortunate enough to have 2 guys catch the ball on the same play, and we were able to have some success with that look. So it was, guys executed well, but I thought it was a good plan going into a big district game.
Yeah, those are tough to execute right. They're tough.
I'm glad we were on board, Todd and I in the booth for the confusion piece as well.
Good.
That kind of got us. So. Coach, what's the most challenging thing about coaching a game where you're winning by such a large amount, just for that first half?
I think focus is always something that you're preaching. We've been in games previously where we've lost focus in those situations, and I think we visited about that as a staff and with our players after the Childress game, and just said, like, we're going to be in games at different times where it's going to require an extra layer of focus. And what I was really proud of, and you can see Mason Lee's interception, the sideline is more excited than anybody for that interception. And so I think that proves, one, that it's a healthy culture in the locker room, but 2, that the guys were focused. They were locked in on what was going on, the defensive scheme that was being called, the offensive plays being called. They were locked in, coaching each other up, which I think was, as a coach, that's what you want to see. So I told the guys on Saturday, I was as excited, as proud of Dakota for the way he responded to Mason Lee's interception than I was his own interception, just because it showed how locked in, focused, and happy he was for his teammates.
Absolutely. Yep. Coach, who's somebody that graded out this week that maybe is flying under everybody's radar?
Yeah, I don't know if there's one individual, but just the way the defensive line is graded out here recently has been tremendous. Anytime that you can rush the passer with 3, certainly 4, it's going to be a good grade for those guys. And I think that, our secondary is tremendous, but it helps when you've got a defensive line that can go pressure the quarterback like that.
Got to have pressure.
By name, Lane Wasson and Lane Wilhelm on the edge do a great job for us. Luke Fales is as good a defensive tackle as I've ever seen. Like, he commands a double team, and if teams feel brave enough to single block him, he's able to live in the backfield. And then that nose, Colton Armida, he's a force, a 300-pounder that can move a little bit and does a tremendous job. And KT Ferteller behind him, Eric Bustamante saw snaps. It's just a tremendous group. They've grown a lot in the last 2 years, and they're doing a great job for us.
Coach, looking forward to this Friday. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss that game, but this is going to wind up being the district champion, right? So with Seminole. So what do you want to see from the team this week?
Yeah, I think the key is not just the routine, but the message. We're going to prepare the same way. If you prepare any differently, you're basically admitting that you didn't give all you had to the previous 8 opponents. And so we're going to prepare the same way. I think the message is going to be very similar, that it's not about the team on the other sideline. It's about our execution and our response to any adversity that we see. And then I think really the key for us is let our players play. They've done a tremendous job to this point. A lot of them have started almost 30 games, I guess, and they know the expectations. Yep. They know what's at stake, and so if we can get the ball to our playmakers and let our big guys make plays on the offensive and defensive line, I think that we're going to be proud of our effort no matter what.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about Seminole and what you're expecting from them Friday night, Coach.
Tremendous football team. Coach Pointer has not only done a good job at Seminole, but in his stops and other places in West Texas, done a tremendous job. They're going to be well coached. They're going to play hard defensively. They are very, very fundamentally sound. They execute their system at a high level, and then offensively, it's going to be a little bit of a track meet. Like, they're going to run what feels like 1,000 plays every game. They're going to be snapping the ball with what feels like 39 seconds on the play clock. Like they can run some plays offensively, and so that's going to be the challenge. Can we get lined up? Can we execute against a pretty good defense offensively? And then Coach Galindo, I know, will have the special teams boys lined out. So we're ready for the challenge.
Defensive communication, but quickly.
Quickly. Very quickly. Yes.
Quick defensive communication.
Very quickly.
Coach, last question for me. How important is it to have the Greenwood fans show up in Seminole Friday night?
Our fans do a tremendous job, and as referenced on this show, there's been a lot of games, road games, that felt more like home games.
Yep.
They come out in force. They're loud. They're passionate. They know what they're looking for. They do a tremendous job, and so we're really, really excited for the task at hand Friday night. But if there was any question about it, I would beg them to come. But I know they'll be there in force. So we're excited for the atmosphere. I think both fan bases are a bit rabid, and so it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great night for our players. It is.
Yeah, this one's been marked on the calendar since the schedule
for
came
a while.
Out, right?
Oh yeah.
It's forced there.
Coaches, you're ramping up for it. What's the message to your staff this week?
Yeah, I think there is no doubt that Seminole is going to be ready for Greenwood. And we've got to be able to travel well. We won a big home game a couple of weeks ago against Liberty, but are we going to be good enough to take this show on the road? And that's what you have to do in the playoffs. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. I think we might maybe have a little bit of football weather, and so all those things are great in the moment, but they also the other good part of it is it prepares you for a playoff run. And so we're excited for Friday night, and I think the message is just keep hammering away, do what we have been doing, and make adjustments on the fly.
Yeah, we've kind of had a little bit of a cold front come in. I think Wednesday night it's supposed to get relatively chilly, but don't let that scare you from making that trip to Seminole.
No,
so, Coach, I lied to you. I said that was my last question a little bit ago, but we've got a new one on the board. So let's talk about the music being played in practice this week.
Well, Coach Martin took over the music responsibilities, and he's got the Florida State / Atlanta Braves Tomahawk Chop on repeat for hours on end. I think, it's turned up to 12. Believe me, you can't hear each other communicate, which is good. We need that. We're getting ready for the crowd, but it is over and over and over for 2 hours today. It was
trying to make a point. Huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Point has been made, and it's only Monday. So come on out if you want to hear the Florida State theme song forever.
That's funny. I didn't know that. Appreciate that. All right, folks. Well, that's all we've got for tonight's Ranger Rundown. Thank you once again to Rooster's Backyard for hosting us, and all the other subscribers. If you're interested in some, all the other sponsors. If you're interested in sponsoring, please reach out to Kendall Thomas for that. Make sure you subscribe to Greenwood Stream Network so you don't miss any content and live streams. We appreciate it.
Volleyball playoffs Thursday against Canyon.
That's right.
Go Rangerettes.
Todd's not here because he's watching volleyball.
Yeah, well, let's go Rangerettes playing at Lubbock Cooper against the Canyon Eagles, and then obviously state cross country Saturday. So big week to be a Ranger and Rangerette.
Lots of fun.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on GSN.